I only know a few of you. I'm John's notorious Uncle Mal. My sister Marilyn, John's mother, and my other sister used to call me Mal, the diminutive version of Malcolm. It was only later that I learned that the Scots nickname for Malcolm is Colum. So I'm still amused with the call this. The call that I received from John was distressing. I could tell by his voice. And I said, John, I have to come. I live in a distant place, New York. He said, oh, you don't have to come. Just write some things down and we'll do them. I said, I don't think that'll be satisfactory. I said, I'll call you back in about an hour or so, or the next day or something. And I said I would come. And I figured out how to do that. So I hope my comments are appropriate. Some people have said a few things that resonate with me, but sort of in a different way. Justin said a piece is missing, and something about the whole. I wish I understood Yiddish better. Something that resonated there as well. I come from a long line of Holzmans, and if they have DNA, there's a sort of special makeup for some of the males. There's a little piece that's missing in there. I'm not sure it's a chromosomal piece or a gene, but it's a little piece that's missing. And I've discovered in life that some of us have this. John has it. I think, like what Justin said this evening, he has it. Not everybody gets it, so it's unclear in our family who actually has it. This piece has to do with women, and it has to do with love and being attracted to them, but being blinded at exactly the same time. And I remember, it seems to me, it was 100 years ago when John called and told me about Shani, and I came out and visited in Bisbee. And this evening, I thought I would talk about a lot of that fun that we had and other little adventures and things that are very clear in my memory. The night the dog ate the toad and got poisoned. And we went to the hospital for too many hours. And, all those things that happen that come flashing back to you that are happy moments and distressful moments and all those other things. But this missing part seems much more important to me. Because I think the thing that Shani provided John was the completion of that missing part. It made John a person who he wasn't until Shani arrived. And they shared this thing together. So she had this ability to understand very abstract and non-understandable things. And was able to put those pieces in there that made things whole. So this is something that's very special for people to understand other individuals in that way and to be able to give them that gift. So we are going to miss that. Sniffling. John, you need fortitude. We understand that. We will provide it for you. And I think that Shani will be remembered for those gifts she gave us as well.
Thank you.
Probably better than one here. Some I know, it's, been a lot of people by the roadside in my life. Just the road that I've gone down is, I've never been an 8 to 5 guy, I've always been in trouble. But Shani, for me, is like a sister. In fact, we're both 23s, both born on the same day. And there's definitely, we have this smug little kind of club that we're in, but Shani was like a deep sister to me because I've always been a loose cannon And every time I came around Shani, she always grounded me. She had just, she just had the words that she would use would just kind of, they were whatever I needed. And she was one of the rare people that could do that. But, one thing I do know for sure is that Shani's here right now. And she's looking down at every one of us, and I know that. And, I was interrupted once on the way to my mother's burial, her funeral, by an angel who let me know that I could tell my mother anything I wanted to, and for the first time she might listen. And you know what? I really took advantage of that. I didn't want to make a spectacle of myself why everybody was there, but when everyone left, I sat there and had about a 45-minute talk with my mother. And but I was also told this little, it wasn't a secret, but this friend of mine who was this angel told me that whatever we feel for this person is, you can send them off with your feelings, and if they have a need for direction, or if you have a feeling of wanting to direct them, that they're, very much here right now. And my feeling to you, Shani, is, continue. There is light there. When you're finished here with us, just go to the light. It's a meeting place for all of us. We'll all be there. We'll all meet again. And one thing I do know, Shani, is I will meet you again, and I love you very much.
Hi there. Peace be with you. My name's Tad Lamb, cousin Tad. Cousin Tad. I say that the first day the story goes, the first day I walked into the wild bird store, I think it was 1994. And John's the first time he ever saw me. He looks at me and he says, "That guy looks like Shani's brother more than Shani's brother looks like Shani's brother." And so the conversation ensued, and we figured out the last name was Lamb, and you look at the nose and the eyes and the posture, and I look at the early picture of Shani over there, and I see so many of my other cousins. And so I'm not so much here to say goodbye to a friend, but a family member. And I go back, like I said, in 1994. I was a friend first before I was an employee at the wild bird store. I spent 5 very gentle years there and had the opportunity to, have many nice conversations with Shani. And it's always interesting to talk spirituality with a person who practices the spirituality, and I always enjoyed that about Shani. She believed in something, and she would talk to you about it, and you could share your views on things, and it was okay. You could really talk. She was just an open, truly tolerant person. When I go away, as I think about Shani, I remember that about her. I remember the dinners at y'all's house, and just the way she could shop and cook, and she was a nurturer. She could cook. She was good with food. And as I get older, this happens a little too often. Your peers are dying. You don't really expect them to. They come in at unexpected times and places. And so I start to reflect on the last time I talked to him. What was your last interaction with him like? I remember last time I saw Shani, she came into the art store. I left the bird store 2 years ago, not by anything willful, but an opportunity came up, and with John and Shani's good graces, I went on to another opportunity. And so I saw Shani, and she was shopping for something, and it was so nice to see her again. Anytime I saw someone from the wild bird store, I was just so happy. And again, I know this is a bad situation, but I'm so happy to see you all. And this is a testimony to Shani and love and the community that develops with that love. You know, I gotta tell you guys that community, it's just so key these days. And to see you all, to see your faces, and see so many kind, gentle, tender-hearted, sincere people gathered in one spot. It gives me hope, you know, it gives me faith that there is good, that we will prevail. And on that note, you know, as appropriate is to put flowers on someone's grave, it's much more appropriate to give them flowers while they're alive. And so if you love somebody today, if someone's affected you, tell them so. And I know Shani would agree with this. Hand someone a flower today. And so Shani, eternal rest grant you, Lord. May the perpetual light shine upon you. May you rest in peace. Peace be with you.
But I would like to ask Andrew to play on his beautiful clarinet some music that he and Shani played together.